Welcome back to Elevation 44. It's your girl B, or Elevation as some people like to call me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. So today we are diving into another full moon, right? And now this is the second Aquarius full moon that we're having this summer. So we had one in July, and now this is the Aquarius full moon for August. So we're going to be jumping all into that. So regard this as part 2, because I did mention in that July video that this would be the second part to this Aquarius full moon energy. So we're gonna dive into that today, okay? So the Aquarius full moon is going to be happening on August 22nd, which actually is also coinciding when the sun is switching signs from Leo into Virgo. So Virgo season is also happening on this day, but this full moon is going to be happening at 8:01 a.m. So this is happening, before the sun officially moves into Virgo. So this is on the 29th degree. This is on the very last degree of Aquarius's energy. And if you were here last month and you tuned into the Aquarius full moon part 1, you could tell that, or you saw that the Aquarius full moon was on the very first degree in that video. So it had just encompassed the beginning of Aquarius's energy, and this is like the more mature. I've been through the entire cycle. I've mastered this energy type of expression of Aquarius's energy, okay? So this is really also with that first degree opening on July and this being the last degree here in August, you can also see the beginning of the mini cycle that opened, and now this is the closing of that mini cycle. And I also failed to mention that 8:01 a.m. is Eastern time, so if you are in another time zone, you're going to have to translate that, okay? So let's talk about the 29th degree, okay? Because even though we talk about astrology on this channel, I do like to throw in a little bit of numerology so that we can get a comprehensive look or understanding of just the energies at hand. Now, I'm not a numerologist, okay? So I'm not a super expert, but I have enough knowledge to just kind of dive into some of the numerology and the energy that coincides with the planetary energy or the astrology that is happening, okay? So 29, when you boil that down, you add 2 plus 9, you get 11. And if you are into numbers at all, you would know that 11 is considered the master number, okay? So this number is very inspirational, it's powerful, it's enlightening, and it's very intuitive, okay? It's actually said to be the most intuitive of all numbers. It is carrying the energy of duality, because when you further break down master number 11, it's 2. It encompasses, the moon's energy, that intuition, but also the nature of dualities, right? Of 2 being present. There always being a yin and a yang, right? So these are the things that you need to keep in mind in terms of some of the energy that this, full moon is also carrying in as well. And with that, I will say that in the last video, I did talk a lot about how that moon was very, that full moon was very interesting because it was very challenging. The whole Leo season has been interesting in the sense that the tension that Aquarius and Leo are having, both with Uranus and Taurus, and then also the opposition that Uranus and Leo and Aquarius are having with each other. Like, it's like jumble soup in this brain. That's why I have these notes, right? But the opposition or the conflict that they're having with each other, and then the tension that they're having with Uranus and Taurus, or that Taurus energy, has been kind of the theme that we have been feeling and seeing. And that's why it has been just kind of like a very, I would just say, challenging time for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of good things are happening, right? Because good things happen in tangent with the challenges, but there have been a lot of challenges individually, collectively. You have been seeing it play out on the world stage. There's just a lot going on. But this energy, especially tied to the number 11, this master number 11, and just the transits that are happening with this Aquarius full moon is different. It's lighter. It's, even though there's still a lot happening, it is a break. It is kind of the rainbow after the storm, right? Because this mini cycle was a cycle that was meant to test us, right? There were challenges coming in, and tests coming in, and it was to see how we would respond and how we would move through these challenges. And then this is kind of like the reprieve or the reward after that. So that is literally the difference in energies. It's lighter, it's more optimistic, it feels better than what we were dealing with in July. I will also say that 11 is the number of spiritual awakening. It's a lot of the times what people start seeing when they start becoming spiritually awakened or enlightened. So a lot of the times people will start seeing 1111 a lot, and that's usually like the entry point into just like starting to recognize everything else. So don't be surprised with this energy if you feel like there is an enlightenment of some sort, or an awakening, or another level of awakening that you're going through or feeling at this time, that is bringing you into higher self-awareness. So that is something that you should also think about as well. So what have you awakened to in the past month? That is the big question, right? Since this mini cycle opened up in July with that Aquarius full moon up until now, what has been stirred up? What has been triggered in your life? What events have been taking place that has awakened you to something? Have you been able to name that or identify that? And at this time, maybe you can sit down and think about identifying what it is that you have moved through, those challenges and different things. What has presented themselves? How have you persevered? Because again, it's the way that you respond, and you have moved and grown and elevated during this time is how you will or will not be rewarded, right? So the major transit that is happening with this full moon is Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be conjunct this moon, and Jupiter comes to bring the rewards and take you out and have that party after you've been through Saturn's lessons, after you've been through Saturn's tests and challenges. And Jupiter comes to also say, you know what, it's gonna be all right. Feel good about it. Like, it has been challenging, but I'm here to let you know it's gonna be all right. There's better days coming, and I want you to be optimistic about that, okay? So this is what is happening, and I wanna say congratulations to you for leveling up during this time, to stepping up to the challenges, to, moving through the things, whether it be something big or something very small, because everybody is going through something different. But moving through those challenges, leveling up is what this is all about. It's all about learning and growing and ascending, okay? So that emotional and spiritual growth will be evident, and it is going to bring rewards whether you see them in the interim or not. So let's go ahead and talk about Jupiter. We're gonna go ahead and skip over the facts of Aquarius's energy. If you want to learn more about those things, you can always go back to part 1 of the Aquarius full moon video where I dive into all of that. So I will leave that in the description box down below, or link it somewhere up here so that you can see it. But I really want to talk about this Jupiter conjunction that the moon is making, right? The only aspect that really is popping out to me for this particular full moon. And when we talk about aspects, this is literally how the planets are communicating with each other. And we're just talking about the moon because we're just focusing on the moon energy. If you want to learn the lay of the land and really understand what are some of the other transits that are happening, I also did a whole video on Leo season, and I will have a video on Virgo season. So between Leo season and Virgo season, you'll get a really good sense of kind of what's been going on and what's to come. All right, so tune in for both of those things. The moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter. All right, so when we talk about the moon conjunct another planet or two planets conjuncting, it's just really blending their energies together. And when we talk about, you know, the aspects, it's just literally, this is an aspect of how the planets are communicating. They're coming together and blending together. Jupiter is currently retrograding through the sign of Aquarius. Now, it was in Pisces temporarily and started to backtrack and retrace its steps in Aquarius to come back and help us further expand our vision, because Aquarius is all about being the visionary. It's all about envisioning a greater and better way. So it has taken us back to expand on the vision. So when the moon is blending its energy with Jupiter in this way, it's expanding on our vision. It is also helping us or making us feel more optimistic about the things that we are envisioning. We are dreaming big, and it feels good. It feels aligned. It feels internally peaceful, what we are envisioning and how we are dreaming with this energy, okay? Because it's from within that it's being fueled. We also are focusing here on growth and happiness, which are even more evident after the challenges or the lessons that have come through this mini cycle that started opening in July. So the lessons learned during this little brief time are definitely things that are more apparent in terms of our growth and our happiness and what that trajectory needs to look like. Again, this is our little rainbow after the rainstorm. But another thing that is coming under focus is the need for community. How we are starting to realize that we are more dependent on each other, or need to be more dependent on each other as a community than ever, than ever before. That community is everything, and without community, you individually are nothing. You cannot do everything alone. You cannot be everything. You need a sense of community, and life in totality is about relationships. That's what this entire life experience is about. Yes, we're here to learn lessons and stuff like that, but the way that we're learning lessons that impact us individually are coming through our relationships. These different areas or focuses of life are relationship oriented, and these relationships are there what brings the challenges, the restrictions, the lessons, the advancements, the insights, right? In order for us to level up or to grow and things like that. So without people, we are nothing. You are me and I am you, and we are all connected. And that's why we need to be more aligned and focused on building community and finding our tribe and building that, because that is literally going to determine our success or our failure, okay? So this is really becoming increasingly important for our survival, not just our, growth and ascension on a spiritual level, but our physical survival as well. So this is really a time where we need to be focused on expanding our support, okay? So this is really what's coming under focus during the time of this Aquarius full moon part 2. All right, so, like I said, if you want to understand what was going on, how that cycle opened up, go see the first part of this video. Let's talk about the herbs and crystals that I would recommend using for this full moon or capitalizing on. So this is going to be tied to opportunity, success, good fortune, tapping into happiness, increasing that spiritual growth, community, expanding the vision. Okay, so some of the herbs that I would recommend are basil, red clover, cloves, and mint. Some of the crystals I would recommend working with are aventurine, citrine, and pyrite, okay? Now, the rituals. This is all about community and focusing on your community and attracting your tribe. So this is a good time to sit in your meditation space, your sacred space, whatever you call it, or at your altar, and literally write out the things that you would need out of a community or the desire that you support. This is about building your support, building your tribe, building your team. What do you feel like you're missing? What do you feel that you would need in order to have in a community, or you would want? And really focus on magnetizing that. Really focus on putting that intention or putting that out there, that this is what you need, this is what you want, and allowing the universe to line up the pieces of bringing that in for you. But you also have to be open to receiving. So once you are honestly, putting that out there, that this is what you want and this is what you need, you also have to be opening yourself up to receiving that as well. You can't put that out there and then block every opportunity that comes your way, to expand your tribe or your community. So that is what I would also recommend. And also make sure you're cleansing your space with these rituals before you do your rituals, because you don't want to clear out that energy, especially since there has been so much, energy that has not been as positive. You want to be making sure that you clear out your space or cleanse your spaces before you start doing any of your work on these rituals. And then the last thing that I would recommend ritual-wise is definitely expanding on the vision. This is all about vision expansion, because Jupiter is in Aquarius, expanding our vision, and internally it's triggering the things that we desire and lining those things up together. So that vision is coming from a place from within. So this is a good time to expand on your vision. Really think about or envision what it would be like, or what it would look like in its most ideal state. And you don't have to rush this in one sitting or over, just the, full moon. You can actually take your time and work on this every single day, especially until the Virgo new moon comes, right? Because Virgo season is all about hashing out details. It's that analytical, detail-oriented energy. It gets you down to like, okay, this is exactly how I would have it detailed, or step by step. So I would take my time with this one, and then also let this play out between now and the Virgo new moon. And then you can set it into motion. Then you can put your intentions in motion at that particular time. So it's really about just crafting and envisioning and really getting aligned on that. All right. Definitely want to be affirming daily. I am attracting my tribe. I am attracting my community. I am attracting abundance. I am abundance. You want to be working in those daily affirmations even after you've put your work into motion, because speaking it, seeing it, whether you write it down, whether you're speaking it daily, actually doing a combination of all of the above is what is most preferred and actually works best. Okay, so that is it. I have talked and I talked and talked and talked. Even though this video, I don't think it's gonna be too long, or as long as it usually is, I still have talked and I'm done talking. So I hope that you all are definitely taking advantage of this positive boost of energy that is coming our way. I really, 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 really hope that this is a good one for you, because things have, again, been so challenging lately. So I will see you all in the next one, and a happy full moon, happy celebrating, happy just kicking your feet back just for a little bit, okay? I hope you all have a good one. Peace.